The topic which I am discussing is the kinds of goods. So as you know, the goods is a very important subject matter for the contract of sale of goods. So if goods are not known, then how can you enter into a contract of sale? So therefore, goods which is a subject matter of the contract of sale. So as per the Sale of Goods Act, they define the goods of the various kinds. And it is very important, before entering into a contract of Sale of Goods Act, we must know what kind of goods we are going to have a transactions. So the various kinds of goods are of existing goods, second is the future goods, and third is the contingent goods. So these three kinds of goods has been defined under the Sale of Goods Act. And as we know, the subject matter of the contract of sale of goods is the movable goods only and not the immovable one. So now we will define what is an existing goods. Now existing goods which are physically in existence and which are in the seller's possessions or ownership at the time of the making of the contract of sale are called the existing goods. Now it is very important that goods which are physically in existence and it is with the seller and he is having the possession as well as ownership with him. That is why we call this goods is an existing goods. And for a contract of sale of goods act, it is very important the goods we have to see it whether it is in existence or not. So this is an existing goods. This is the one kind. And this existing goods has been subdivided under two headings called specific goods and uncertain goods. Besides having the existing goods, we have to go for a specific goods. Not only existing goods will not fulfill your purpose. So the goods, specific goods are what? The goods identified and agreed for at the time of the making of the contract of sale are called as specific goods. So at the time of the making of the contract, if you can very well identify it and agreed upon, that means the parties must agreed upon at the time of the making of the contract, then it will be called as specific goods. Now one example we can give here, A would like to sell the 10 bags of edible oil to B from out of 100 bags of edible oil. In that 100 bags of edible oil, there are mixing of the brands are there, different kinds of various brands are there. So A wanted to have only the brand called, suppose, engine oil he has ordered. Now B has to take out those 10 bags of edible oil out of 100 bags. So when you said it is a engine oil, it is you have already specifically made your requirements. So it will be identified from the out of the 100 bags of edible oil. So 10 bags you can find it out from the 100 bags because you have mentioned your brand you are using is the trademark you have used. That's why we call it is a specific goods. And what about the uncertain goods? The goods which are not separately identified or ascertained. So there are bulk of goods are there, from there you cannot separate it or you cannot ascertain it at the time of the making of the contract and are known as unascertained goods because it is not possible to separate it from that heap of or bulk of goods which is lying. Example you can give it here. A agrees to sell to B 1 bag of sugar out of the 100 bags of sugar lying in his godown. So in his godown, that 100 bags of sugar is lying. Now from there, A wanted to sell 1 bag of sugar to B. So it is a sale of uncertain goods because it is not known which bag is to be delivered. Only he has mentioned one bag of sugar you give it, but which one you wanted to send it, which one you wanted to deliver it, that is not mentioned. That is not specifically mentioned on the while making a contract of sale of goods. So you have to specifically mention. Then and then you can very well you can say that this is an identified goods. So this contract will be called as an unascertain goods of sale of goods. Now we have to define second kind of a goods, that is of future goods. Now goods to be manufactured, produced or acquired by the seller at the time of the making of the contract of sale are called the future goods. So some of the goods which are to be manufactured. So you are going to manufacture, you are going to produce, you are going to acquire it by the seller himself. Then how he will make the contract of sale, because he himself is not in the possession, not in existence with him. That's why we said it is a future goods. So that's why we can say very well it can be fall under the agreement to sell, but not a contract of sale. Example we can give it here. A agrees to sell all the cashew nuts which will be produced in his garden next year. So it is a seasonal one. Cashew nut will be in a season, it will produced and it will be reaped one. Then and then he can give it to the buyer. So that's why he said A said I will give you in the next year, because still time is there to produce. So it is a contract of sale of future goods. You are going to get it in a future date. It is a future date you are going to get produced in the next year, amounting to an agreement to sale. There is only an agreement is made to sell, not giving a delivery of possession, not giving the ownership to it. Still it has to be transferred, goods has to be transferred. That's why it is a future goods. Now third kind of goods is of contingent goods. Contingent means depending on the happening of some of the uncertain events, it may happen or may not happen. That's why it is called contingent goods. The goods, the acquisition of which the seller depends upon an uncertain contingency are called contingent goods. So what is safe? Acquisition of goods by the seller. Seller himself has to acquire it. He is going to get the things. It is not in existence at present. And he will also depend upon an uncertain contingency. Uncertain. Future events, uncertainties. That's why it is called contingent goods. This is a type of future goods. You are going to get it, you are going to acquire it. That is, it is a future goods. And therefore a contract for the sale of contingent goods. It is a contract for the sale of contingent goods. And it will also operate as what? An agreement to sell, but not a sale. You're going to sell at a future date, but not a contract of sale, because it is not spontaneously made or not with existence things. Now example we will give it here. A agrees to sell B a specific rare painting, provided he is able to purchase it from its present owner. Now agrees to sell B a specific rare painting. He wanted to sell B. Rare painting means you cannot get it anywhere else. Very rare. It's difficult to find a rare painting. But condition is also said that he is able to purchase it from its present owner. If he can purchase it from the present owner means what? Original owner who is having that piece of rare painting, then and then he can sell it to B. Take for example the Mona Lisa. Everyone knows who has painted, the Leonardo da Vinci. Now A wanted to sell it to B, then rare painting, he has to get it from the artist, original artist. Is it possible he will sell it to him? So this is an uncertain contingency, uncertain future events. He may get, may not get it. Then how he can give the rare painting to him? That's why he said agrees to sale. This is a contract for the sale of contingent goods. Similarly, one more example we can give here. A agrees to sell B 100 tons of iron ore, provided the ship which is bringing them reaches the port safely. So A agrees to sell. He wanted to sell it to B 100 tons of iron ore. But that has to be bring first. And who is bringing it? The ship is bringing it. Now A is depending on ship should come to the port very safely, then he can get the things and sell it to B. So it is a contract for the sale of goods, and that is a contingent one. So if the ship is sunk, the contract becomes void and the seller is not liable. If in these conditions, because uncertain future happens, if the ship how it will reach safely, it cannot reach the port safely because the ship is sunk. Suppose it is sunk on sea, then contract will become void because subject matter is not there. The contingency does not happen, then how the contract will be carried? So contract will become void. It will be void subsequently, not from the beginning, and the seller is not liable. Then seller will not be liable because it is a contingent one. So this is how the contingent goods, can you delete, depends on the uncertain future event. That parties have to be very clear before entering into the contract of this. Now there is a question arises. So out of these three kinds of goods, which kind of goods you wanted to go for? So I think everyone answer will be the existing one. But what about the next future or contingent one? Anyone will go for a future one or contingent one? Which one will be the best for you? This is a question, so I put it for you. In near futures, if you wanted to go for a sale of goods like this kind of contract, which one you will find better among these two? Because both are agreement to sell, not a contract of sale. So that's why before entering into a contract of sale of goods act, you must be very clear with the concept called the kinds of goods. And in later part you have to study what condition warranty. This is also very important. So before entering into this, you must very well clear with the movable goods is right, but what kinds of goods you are going to enter into, that you have to clarify it. Then and you will come to know what is your remedy before the court of law, what prayer you can make it if any dispute arises. So you have to be very clear with this, the various kinds of movable goods, that is the subject matter of the goods under the Sale of Goods Act 1930. You have to be very clear with these kinds of goods.